Hey everyone, I'm currently passing through Mount Shasta. I decided to take a little break and record some stuff that's been on my mind, percolating about sexism, misogyny, and the male-centric world, not just worldview, but world that we live in. And it's so funny because sometimes people try to claim that we live in a post-feminist world. Not. We live in a regressive, almost pre-feminist world at this point. I've been thinking about how I have in the past been accused of being like a woman or a female supremacist, and by a woman who accused me of this, just basically talking about the book that I'm writing on reclaiming the menstrual cycle as an embodied female power, sacred feminine power, and as something worth honoring and celebrating and bringing women back into a right alignment with it. And granted, this particular person had had some difficulties and some massive wounding around her body. So I can give her credit for that. But I didn't know how to appropriately respond in the moment, so I spent a lot of time thinking about it. I was like, you know what? We live in such a male-centric, phallocentric world that it's normalized that anytime you highlight women or female power or female-specific ways of seeing, knowing, or thinking, all of a sudden it becomes a threat to male hegemony, right? Even for women, because we all grow up in the patriarchal stew too. And so even for us to learn how to reclaim our bodies, which many of us have traumatized experiences with our bodies. I don't want to say because of our bodies, because I actually believe it's the patriarchal culture we live in, within which in most cases is the culprit of the harm, whether it's the definitions or the behaviors that we learn to do to ourselves or that others do to us causes the harm, or the way that we're not taught how to live with our own biological rhythms and the needs of the female body. Not only are we not taught how to live with them, but the culture actually doesn't create spaciousness for us to live in harmony with our bodies. Okay, so celebrating the female body or anything that focuses on women, the feminine, and the female body without reference to men is somehow seen as anti-men or against men or supremacist of the female, where in my case, I don't say a lot of negative stuff about men. I call out sexism, I call out misogyny, and I call out patriarchy, but I actually really love men. And I do my best to be as understanding as possible. And so it's interesting to me that anything female specific is seen against men, and we need to denormalize that. Just because I'm not centering men in my conversations about women doesn't mean I'm against men. It just means that I'm focusing on women. What do y'all think?